recording. Now, everyone, please, now it's very important to be quiet because we're actually beginning. So, let's start with you saying just what you introducing yourself, and you just look at me.
Okay. My name is Kenny Gonzalez. My major is forensic psychology, minoring philosophy, and this is my second year as a peer mentor.
Great. So now when I ask you some questions, what I'd like you to do is somehow use the question in your answer. For example, if I say, tell me why you're afraid of dogs, you could say, I'm terrified of dogs because they're too small or they're too big or whatever. You see how I use the question in my answer? So the same way with the questions that I give you, okay? So tell us about your work in Early Start.
So I was actually in Early Start myself back when I first came to John Jay. It was such a great experience, so much so that even I decided to do some work in Early Start when I became a peer mentor myself. In my Early Start, when I, okay.
What is Early Start?
So Early Start is a program designed for entering freshmen who decide to come to John Jay, and they want to sort of take a sort of leap in their schedule, and they can either take math or English. Yeah, I'm getting really nervous.
Oh, you're doing fine.
Okay.
It's okay to feel nervous. That's normal.
I'm sweating. Okay.
Wow. Got the AC on.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Oh no, I know what you mean. Yeah, continue
Okay.
telling me what Early Start is. So they can take. Is it like advanced placement or?
So Early Start is when students come and take either a math or English class that sort of fulfills one of the general education requirements here at John Jay. So these two classes do count for something, but they're going to take it in the summer instead of the fall to sort of get a taste of what the work here at John Jay is, and also to start making friends a little more sooner. The peer mentors also work during Early Start as well, so we also help them make the transition a little more easier as well during the summer. And from what I've seen when I've mentored summer classes, the sort of community that sort of builds during these programs are sort of last for a very long time. For example, last summer, I did an Early Start class for math, and now there's this group that formed during the summer and still hangs out up to this day. So not only do you get a head start in your classwork, but you also make long-lasting friendships.
Excellent. So how did the first year seminar influence your academic career at John Jay? So we want to hear the words first year seminar and my academic career. We want to hear those. So how did those two things interact?
So the first year seminar that I took was math. Even though my major is psychology, there's a lot of math that goes into statistics and psychology. So one thing that sort of tied in with that is becoming more informed as to what statistics is and how that relates to psychology. It's sort of like an interdisciplinary sort of program. And that really helped me become better informed that psychology definitely is something for me, especially when it comes to research methods and statistics. And I couldn't have done that without the peer mentor in that class as well.
Great. So in a way, you kind of answered this third question. How did having a peer mentor influence your first semester on campus?
So I had a peer mentor. Unfortunately, she graduated already, but she had such a great impact on me because, as you can see now, I'm a mentor myself. So this sort of cycle of mentee-mentor really does impact any freshman, because not only does it help you with sort of navigating through the first semester of your college experience, it really does open the doors for a lot of opportunities, because the peer mentor really does tell you a lot about special programs here on campus, stuff that I will never have known myself, because I classify myself as an introvert, and you know, I would have never known about anything, and I wouldn't be in this position that I am here now without my peer mentor.
So what would you like to say to your peer mentor?
Alexis, thank you so much.
Great. And what advice would you give to a first-year student?
So one advice that I give to a first-year student is definitely become a little more open-minded. I classify myself as an introvert. I completely understand some of the struggles that a shy person in a huge university like John Jay has to go through. So one advice I would give is, start breaking out of your shell, even if it's just a little step. That little step can become a huge doorway into so many endless possibilities. And without my first step of reaching out to my peer mentor during my first semester here, I would have never become a successful person that I am right now. And I would have never become a peer mentor, sort of continuing on the cycle of helping others as well.
How do you feel? What's the emotion that you feel about this whole experience?
The emotion that I feel of this whole experience is a little really surprising. Surprising in that I didn't know I had this capability in myself. Surprising because I didn't know that the choices that I would have made led me up to here, becoming a peer mentor myself, becoming involved in a Ronald E. McNair program, helping me get into graduate school. I mean, it's just so overwhelming, but overwhelming in a good way, because that self-confidence really does translate into a lot of stuff that I do. And hopefully my mentees sort of see that as well.
Anything you want to add? Take a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything. Sorry.
That's okay. That's good. That's brilliant. Do you speak any other languages?
Yeah.
What do you speak?
Spanish and some Japanese.
Uh-huh. Is there anything you'd like to say in Spanish, like a proverb about success or doing well?
Okay, I got it. Aunque venimos de padres de inmigrantes, todo es posible. Nada es imposible para usted.
That's great. What did you say?
Even though we do come from a family of immigrants, nothing is impossible.
Oh, that's brilliant. Lovely. I like it. You have anything you want to ask? No?
It's an insanely large place, and even though New York City is considered like the center point of the United States itself, and by some the world even, it's really not all that. It's not, New York City really isn't all that it's, cracked up to be, being the sort of the center of the diverse world. There's an entire world out there that, I just hope to someday explore. And that would have never happened if I would have just stayed in the Bronx my entire life.
Great. Okay, and did you want to talk about your research?
Okay. If you insist.
Okay, he's
If
actually
you
very
insist.
excited.
If you insist. So as part of the Ronald E. McNair program, I had the distinct privilege of working on an original research project. Being a forensic psychology major, I do want to get my PhD in clinical psych. So as a result, my research is more oriented during clinical psych, looking at emotions and how that affects moral decision making in those that display high psychopathic traits.
What did you discover so far?
So far, really surprisingly, it seems as out of the three that I was testing, lack of empathy, fearlessness, and poor anger regulation seems to have a profound effect on moral decision making, a very negative effect actually, which I actually originally hypothesized that lack of empathy would have contributed most, but it's actually anger.
Great. Okay, so you look at me and introduce yourself, say your name, what year you are, what you're studying, and feel free to use your hands if you talk.
Okay.
All right?
All right. So just go ahead.
Go ahead.
So my name is Donovan Trinidad.
Donovan, stop. Just found this
Okay.
piece of hair that's very disobedient. I'm sorry, I hate this stuff, but
It's
I have
okay.
to use it because you have wild hair.
You can just paint it green.
And it won't
Exactly.
show up.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't bring any Kool-Aid. Okay, so sorry, Donovan. All right, Donovan, so start again with introducing yourself. Go ahead.
My name is Donovan Trinidad. I am a forensic science major, and this is my second year at John Jay.
Great. Okay, so you saw how I just did that with Kenny.
Right.
So tell us about your work in Early Start.
Okay. So I was not an early start myself, but I became a peer mentor last semester, or last summer. So my first experience with mentees was with Early Start. So similar to how it's an easier experience for the mentees. It's a smaller class environment. They have more fun with it. It's the same for me, and I think it was a great way to start being my career as a peer mentor. The class sizes, I mean, well, it's a lot smaller. So we have a lot more events. It's a lot more fun. I think the mentees really benefited from it because a lot of them it was a math class, so a lot of them weren't as great or as confident in math, and I think by the end a lot of them did pretty well.
Okay, great. Yeah, just a second.
Yeah.
I
Is
messed
there more?
it up.
Right.
No, you're fine, you're fine. It was me, I messed up. But you're fine. Okay. I want to get everybody's definition of early start because maybe I'll piece it together.
Okay.
You know how you've seen those commercials where everybody's defining one thing?
Right.
So tell me, what is early start?
Early start, I mean, the name kind of defines it. So it's like an early start of college. They have a head start in terms of taking classes and becoming familiar with the college and how college is a semester before everybody else does. So they get really, they get very, that's my train of thought.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's good. I can use some of that.
Okay.
All right. So how did the first year seminar influence your academic career at John Jay?
Okay, so my first year seminar affected my academic career at John Jay by introducing me to a diverse class in terms of like the topic of the course. So it's Africana Studies, and I think that was interesting because it's not something I would take normally as a forensic science major, so it gave me an opportunity to take something I wouldn't normally study. And it also put me into contact with Kenny, my peer mentor. So when I first came to John Jay, I made a Facebook group for my graduating class. And thanks to Kenny's weekly emails with events and different opportunities, I was able to pass it along to the group page and bring some of my friends to a lot of events on campus. We're all involved. We're all becoming a part of the John Jay community.
Great. How did having a peer mentor influence your first semester on campus?
So having a peer mentor influenced my first semester here on campus by inspiring me to become a lot more social. Like one of my biggest fears coming to college was that I wouldn't be as social because when I started high school, I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't really make a lot of friends at the beginning. So when it came to college, having events like the peer-to-peer extravaganza where we speak to peer mentors with fellow freshman students about different opportunities on campus and like just icebreakers in general was a great way to start my first semester here. And other than that, I guess there's no other than that. Yeah, that's about what I got.
Good. Okay. What's it like to work with a group of mentors and mentees who are all very different? Did I ask him that question?
No.
Well, that's okay. All right. We might have to come back to him.
Okay.
What's it like to work with a group of mentors and mentees who are all different?
Well, to work with different mentees and mentors, or should I word that differently? Should I
No,
start?
you can use those same words.
Okay, well, working with a group of different mentees, or mentees who are very different, and same for men.
How about, just restart it with the idea of all different kinds of people.
Okay, so working with all kinds of different people.
Start over.
Yeah. So working with all kinds of different people, I think, helped me grow myself. Working with different types of mentors helped me, I guess, improve the way I mentor students, the way I look at being a peer mentor. And with mentees, speaking to different people who have different personalities and different interests, really, it also helped me open up the way I look at things. I think I have a better way of interacting with other people. It really helped me open up as well. So I think it was a really great experience to see all that.
Great. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
So my advice to a first-year student would to get involved. Because John Jay is a commuter school, it's really important to stay on campus and look around, see what's available. Go to different events. They usually have free food, so that's always a plus. Go to events, join different clubs. We have a lot of clubs on campus. Reach out to professors, see if you can work with them. We have a lot of professors who do research with students, so look out for that, and just ultimately like go out and see what the college has to offer you. Don't just come here and go home. See what your interests are.
Great. So yeah, going back to this emotional place, how do you feel?
How do I feel? I guess grateful would be a good word for that. I feel grateful. I'd say that even though I did open up my first semester, I feel like being a peer mentor really helped me open up more. One of my first year seminars I worked with was a communications class, as I stumble over that. One of my first classes I worked with was a communications class, and that professor also helped me with speaking in front of other people. So I had a problem with public speaking. I was a little nervous and I'd get shaky. So even though I would get through my announcements for the class, he would help me with the way I word things or how I hold myself while speaking. So even working with a class helped me grow as a person. So I'd say grateful is a good word.
Wonderful. Would you like to say something in another language? We often weave that in.
I don't speak any other languages.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
I mean, something I've been talking about recently is how inspirational the other peer mentors are. So before I became a peer mentor, I remember speaking to other students about a program called PRISM, which is a program for research initiatives in science and math. It's a program that forensic science students and computer science students, and I think other math majors, can come together and find a mentor who's a professor here and work on research with them. And I wasn't too into that. I didn't think I wanted to do research. I just wanted to come here, maybe find an internship and go from there. But a lot of the mentors are involved with an honors program or multiple research labs, like Kenny's involved with a few. So I realized I wanted to do something else. So I reached out to PRISM. I joined PRISM. I recently got accepted to a lab. Today was my first day of training in a research lab. And yeah.
Good. Better than expected, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank
Yep.
you. All right.
Oh, right, the stuff.
Yeah. We do have to unhook you.
Right.
Excellent. Right. Hey, Matt.
Great work.
Yeah. Right, Matt. So you'll step over by the sandbag. And I have a feeling you're also tall, so I might actually have you to stand back a little bit. If you'll put this up under your shirt so that I can put your collar from the very back. You should come back and say that. Hold on, am I still recording? Yep, I am. Right, so tell us about your research.
Okay, so I recently joined Dr. Lentz's lab, working on studying the human microbiome on living and dead bodies. So the ultimate goal is to study different bacteria that lives on your skin. His research is different because most studies that focus on a bacteria in a dead body focuses on the inside, so he focuses on the outside like the ear or the nose. So he wants to find a correlation between the different types of bacteria that form after death. So ultimately he wants to use that to maybe help determine the time of death. So right now they finished phase 1. There's 3 phases. So the first one's comparing different bacteria between the living and the dead. The second is trying to find the correlation between the time of death and how much what types of bacteria forms and how much of each type form throughout different time periods. So they study different samples throughout. They take different samples throughout.
You don't have to go into too much
Yeah.
detail.
And then ultimately, the third phase, he wants to try working with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner downtown to see if he can actually apply it to a real life case, to a real world case. So nothing too big, but not a big case. But.
So what about being a medical examiner? Would you be interested in becoming a medical examiner?
Yeah, so when I first came to John Jay, I initially wanted to do that, and then I
Wanted
shied
to do
away.
what?
Sorry, okay, so when I first came to John Jay, I initially wanted to become a medical examiner, But then I shied away from it because of medical school. So I stuck with forensic science because it's still interesting to me. But now I've looked back into it, so now I'm looking into going to med school anyway and prepping for that. The idea of, I guess, working with the police and performing autopsies, like using, I don't know how to word it.
You're using medical forensics.
Right, because I'm trying to say, like, I want to use, it's not that it's like a puzzle, but it's more, I like the idea of helping solve something through studying a body or the evidence in general. Yeah.
You want to rephrase that and come
Yeah.
up with a strong sentence because that's important.
Right.
You like the idea of solving a problem through studying the evidence in the body, right?
Right. So how?
So say that in your own words.
Okay. So how am I starting it? Or starting? It's
You're
why I went
talking
from a medical
about,
examiner.
you know, why you would like to be a medical examiner.
Okay. So the reason why I want to become a medical examiner is because I find it interesting and exciting to work with the police to help solve a case through studying the evidence found maybe in the body or at the crime scene in general, using all that, putting it together to help figure out exactly what happened to somebody and
That's good. That's fun.
Okay.
All right. Excellent.
Really a stiff person. You know?
You're a naturally stiff
Yeah.
person?
I do like lots of martial arts and all. It's still I'm stiff.
Still
doesn't-
you're stiff.
I don't know.
What kind of martial arts do you do?
Jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you do capoeira?
No. I want to get into it, but
There's a big club here.
yeah, I know some of the people from it. They
Yeah.
teach me some moves.
Yeah, they're very nice.
fun.
It's a good community. All right, so start out by telling us your name, what year you are, what your major is.
My name is Matthew Estrada. I'm an international criminal justice and security management major. I'm a sophomore here at John Jay.
Okay, so you just look at me, all right?
Okay,
And you
yeah.
have to look down here. All right?
Redo it?
If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Matthew Estrada. I'm an international criminal justice and security management major. I'm a sophomore here at John Jay.
Great. Okay, tell us about your work in Early Start.
My work in Early Start has been an amazing experience because I first started in Early Start coming into John Jay, and then after that I was able to, after becoming a mentor, I was able to work with the same professor that I had teaching me. So we were able to really connect and then give the students an even better experience in the program. Yes.
Okay, what is Early Start in your own words?
What is Early Start? Early Start is, well, it's a early start to John Jay. So you come in the summer and you get the majority of the classwork done in the summer, and then when you come into the fall, you only have about three classes in the fall. So you get the majority of your work done, and then you're able to kind of have an easier fall semester and concentrate more on your other classes. Yeah.
Okay, great. And how did the first year seminar influence your academic career at John Jay?
The first year seminar influenced my academic career at John Jay by helping me make friends in the class. And from those friends, I was able to take further classes with them. And this is very useful because if you're up at like 8 o'clock at night and you don't necessarily know what to do with an assignment, you can ask them, hey, like if you have any questions about it, like how do you approach this? Yeah, and I mean, it might be better to go to the Writing Center or Math and Science Resource Center, but they're not open at that time, so.
Great. How did having a peer mentor influence your first semester on campus?
My peer mentor influenced my first semester on campus by letting me know all the events that were happening on campus. So I was able to attend panels, discussions, the career fair. All of these things helped enrich my first semester and make me really feel at home at John Jay.
Excellent. What's it like to work with a group of mentors and mentees who are all very different?
It's an awesome experience because you have people who have different ideologies and ways of approaching problems, and when it comes together, you get spectacular, like, I don't know what word I'm looking for. The connections that they form are spectacular. Should I read?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so,
The question is, all the differences, diversity amongst the peers and peer mentors,
okay.
how is it to work with that diversity, those differences?
Working with the diversity of the peers and peer mentors is a fantastic experience because you have people coming from different walks of life and they have different ideologies. And when they come together, you form these relationships that are very powerful because you're able to have open discussions about different approaches to problems, especially since we're in a criminal justice school where there's lots of problems going on right now with that. So we can have open discussions about that and different approaches to how to solve those problems.
Great. And what advice would you give to first-year students?
I would tell them to utilize the resources on campus. There's just so many different resources, the sasp resource, having a peer mentor to guide you through your experience. You have the math and science resource centers to help you with your academics. We offer events all over campus throughout the semester that you can attend, and they can enlighten and enrich your academic career. The clubs and sports teams that we have, you can make some really good friends there, people with similar interests to your own. So I would say to try different things throughout John Jay.
Great. And speaking with an emotion or speaking from your emotional center, tell me how you're feeling about it all.
Feeling about John Jay, would you say?
About, your work with, as a peer mentor, first year seminar, early start, this initial experience what do you feel?
Being a peer mentor has greatly influenced my academic and career goals because it makes me realize that I really want to help people. I really want to help guide them so that they can reach their goals and achievements. And yeah, I'm really grateful for having the opportunity to help incoming freshmen to reach their goals and achievements and guide them through that.
Great. Anything else you want to add?
I would say just don't be scared to try different things in John Jay. For me personally, I started taking Chinese, and that was a really big leap for me from taking Spanish because it's a completely different language altogether. So yeah, try different things. Don't broaden your horizons. That's why you're in college.
很好，你做得很好。
Oh, thank you.
你懂吗？
你懂吗？
你懂不懂？
哦，懂。
懂。好。All right. So, looking at me,
Okay.
tell me your name and what year you're in and what you're studying.
Okay, so my name is Jason Frias. I'm currently a senior, so I'm graduating now in June. I'm a police studies major, and I'm also pursuing a certificate in dispute resolution.
Great. Did you tell us your name?
Yes, Jason.
You didn't tell us your full name.
Oh, my full name is Jason Frias. Yeah.
So tell us about your work in Early Start by starting with defining Early Start.
So before I even became involved as a peer mentor, I was actually an Early Start student. So being that I was an Early Start student, I had kind of came into college with the idea that I was going to be a part of a class that just happened in the summer and I was going to get credit for it. But that kind of quickly changed into me being kind of coming into the school and actually becoming part of the school right away, right after high school. So I became acquainted with a lot of the students that were here, and I made a lot of friends a lot quicker that way. But Early Start basically means exactly what it is. It's an early start to your college experience. And being that I was brand new to college, being one of the first ones to go to college in my family, I decided that starting early was the right thing to do. That kind of, once I became a peer mentor, I understood really what was the purpose of Early Start when it came to students, which was getting you ready for college, not only ready in the sense of academics, but ready in the sense of college culture. So getting acquainted with the school, making new friends, and just having a better overall experience. Because you've been here one summer, come the full semester, you're not as intimidated. So that really kind of resonated with me once coming from being an Early Start student to now working with Early Start students as a peer mentor.
How did the first year seminar influence your academic career at John Jay?
My first year seminar was actually really, it was really interesting actually. It was the first time coming from New York, it's so diverse in New York, but once I got to John Jay, you really saw a culture shock. I got a culture shock immediately in my first year seminar class. And I know that first year seminars are kind of designed to kind of open your mind to different things. So walking in, I was there in my first year seminar, and I took a political science first year seminar. So that was required for my major, but I really didn't have any basic understanding of political science other than it had to do with politics because of poli-sci. But coming into it, I really understood what political science was, but the coolest part about it was since everybody was so diverse and different, everybody had a different take on poli-sci and how they connected it to themselves and their own cultures individually. So it kind of really affected how the next of the 4 years laid out for me when I took a first year seminar. It was really something different that opened my mind to different things, the ways different people saw different things. And I think that that was very key to the first year seminar goal of what they want for students, is to come in and understand that, hey, we all come from different backgrounds, but we're going to learn about something together and see it, how we view it in different lights and from different cultures, from different angles. And and you develop some friendships with these people that I still have lasting till now. Being a senior, as if I could remember, just starting my first year seminar in my political science class. So it really shapes your understanding of everything, I think. And that's why I like first year seminars, and it's a great thing that now all freshmen have to take first year seminars.
Excellent. So how did having a peer mentor influence your first semester on campus?
So I had
Start over.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
closing your eyes.
Okay. So I had two peer mentors. So I was lucky, since I did Early Start, I got a peer mentor in Early Start. And when I did my first year seminar, I had another peer mentor. So I had tremendous amount of support, talking about reaching out to me at my house, on my cell phone, and even through emails and text messages, kind of just checking in, kind of seeing if we needed any help with anything. It really made the transition from high school to college very bearable, right? Because from high school knowing everybody to coming into a school that has over 15,000 students and feeling really alone, having a peer mentor there was very critical to my transition. It could have really made the difference between me wanting to come back the semester after or not. And I really think that that's the mission that a lot of peer mentoring programs have, which is, college retention and having students stay. It was very key to my success, just my freshman year, which is one of the most critical years. So I think having two peer mentors, always being there, guiding me, being my friends if I didn't feel like I had a friend, or just another voice to talk to, it was very crucial to my development as a student. And just my entire freshman year, I would say, was, if anything, the best year that I had here at John Jay, I want to say. And it was great because then it just set it up, because I said I want to stay here and I want to finish my bachelor's degree here in John Jay. And thus far, it came to work because I'm graduating now. So it was very key to my success.
Great. What's it like to work with a group of mentors and mentees who are all very different?
I actually work for a program in SASP that's called Crear Futuros. So Crear Futuros is a program that works specifically with Hispanic students here on campus. So being that I've transitioned from working with general population of people from all different types of cultures and backgrounds and now kind of focusing on working with Hispanic students, it has opened again my understanding and my eyes to a lot of the different cultures on campus. And I've been fortunate enough to work with such a diverse population of students and professionals that have the same goal, which is to push college retention, have students stay here, graduate and become professionals and leaders from years on to come for the rest of their lives. So I think that being that I am working with such a diverse amount of people just in my office, because we call ourselves a family there, and then working with students that are from different backgrounds, from all different walks of life, from all different boroughs, countries. We have international students here. So it has really opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and I feel like I've become more culturally aware and I feel the melting pot that they always talk about in New York. What better place to find it than here at John Jay taking some of the classes here.
Great. Can you say the name of that group? It's in Spanish. Can you say it slowly and spell it?
Okay, so it's Crear Futuros, and it's spelled CREARFUTUROS.
And what does it mean?
So Crear Futuros means creating futures. So Crear is actually an acronym for college readiness and retention, and then Futuros is we want to do something. Well, the acronym is creating future, Crear, college readiness and retention. It's something like that, because we always kind of like go back and forth between it, but the whole aspect is creating futures. So Crear Futuros is really creating futures specifically with Hispanic students. The reason that they do that is because retention rates for Hispanic students, especially in John Jay, such a large Hispanic serving institution, is very small. We see a lot of our freshmen come in, and within the first year they drop out, they don't come back. So how do we change that? How do we push the Hispanic students to kind of not only come to college, but to stay and understand why they're here? Sometimes, family pressures. You're just here because your mother told you to be here, or you're just here because that's the thing to do. Everybody needs to go to college, and that's the culture that society has created. But it's really an understanding of why you're really here and what can you do now, and how can you prepare yourself to be a leader. So a lot of the work that we do is a lot of professional development work, as also student development as in personally. A lot of reflection, a lot of workshops that they attend, and a lot of meeting and networking. That's what we want to get a conversation started and building a community of Hispanic students where they work together to create their own way, influence the next generation of students coming in that are Hispanics and Latinos, and that they want to work in just different fields, whether it be a lawyer, a police officer, who want to be a psychologist, you want to be anything that you want to be in general. So that's really what we're trying to strive to do in John Jay and on other CUNY campuses too, because we are a cross-campus program. So we have programs in Lehman and also in LaGuardia, and we're trying to expand. So it's really very strongly based on getting our students ahead, our Latino students ahead.
Excellent. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
The advice that I give to first-year students, and I think all students in general, is come out of your comfort zone. All right, this college is not a place to be shy. I feel like sometimes when we're in high school, we're so set with our little cliques of friends, and we usually hang out with the same people, and we just go to school, we hang out, and we go home. Here, it's not a place to be shy. Here is a place to really open up and go out and talk to different people and ask questions. Ask about something that you don't know. Ask about somebody that you want to meet, and ask, hey, how did you hear about this job? Or, hey, how do I get involved in this? How do I do this? And it's just really not a place to be shy. It's a place to really express yourself. I feel like here we're allowed to be free thinkers, something that I feel like in high school we're very restricted from doing. The curriculum is so restricted to just the textbooks and testing and standardized testing. And it's like you come to college, it's like you have an opinion, okay, but defend your opinion. Talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a lecture about it. So I think that the only advice and the strongest advice is, as coming in as a freshman, is do not be shy. So go out there and just pursue what you want, and don't be shy to ask questions and go around and talk to people.
So tell us, maybe say the same kind of thing, only say it in Spanish.
Okay, so in Spanish you want me to say? Okay. Lo que yo le digo a todos los estudiantes que vienen ahora, viniendo de la secundaria hacia la universidad, es que cuando esté aquí, no tenga...
Perdone, por favor. Repete una más. Only for me.
Okay, I got you. Okay. So, Gallo. Okay, so todo lo que le quiero decir a los estudiantes que vienen de la secundaria hacia la universidad es que cuando lleguen aquí no tengan timidez. Okay, vaya afuera y hable con todas las personas que uno quiera. Pregunte todas las preguntas que tiene. No tenga miedo a expresarse, porque la universidad es un lugar para expresar sus pensamientos, los que sienten en el corazón que quieren aprender. Es un sitio ¿cómo se dice? Como de mucha expresión libertad, okay? Libre, expresión libre. Eso es todo lo que le quiero decir. So, no tenga miedo de subir la mano y preguntarle a alguien ¿qué tú opinas de esto? ¿O qué tú crees de esto? O ir a hablar con estudiantes y preguntarle de su cultura o de su trabajo o qué hacen. So, ya cuando lleguen aquí a la universidad, eso es lo que con eso le dejo yo, que por favor, si no hacen nada, lo mínimo es, por favor, abrir su entendimiento, abrir su corazón y aprender algo de lo que salen aquí y preguntar todas las preguntas que tengan, que no tengan timidez.
Well, excellent. Do you want to everybody ready? Got your phones turned off, all the way off, not just silence? Thank you. Nice smile. You have such a good smile. Great. And I see you showing off your bracelets. See, I got a bracelet.
Yeah, I have an obsession with them, so.
I love Frida Kahlo.
Ooh, yeah, I was looking at that. It's beautiful.
$2.
Really?
Yeah, on the street.
What?
So
And you
now
shop
this
where you
light
shop.
is too bright.
True, I'm gonna need you to like turn around or something, cause
Oops, sorry. All right, so tell us your name, what you're studying, and what year you are.
my name's Alondra Ramos. I'm an English major and I'm a graduating senior.
Great. And tell us about your work in Early Start. And before you tell us about your work, say what Early Start is.
Early Start is a program designated for incoming freshmen who just finished high school. And basically, it's a chance for them to experience the community, get a first-hand look at what the campus is like. They build relationships with their peer mentors and with freshmen that are in the same position as they are. They're brand new, they want to experience what this campus has to offer, and it's a way for them to get to know the school before anyone else and just build a stronger relationship like right off of leaving high school.
So tell us about your work in Early Start.
My work in Early Start is pretty small. I wasn't informed about it yet, so I didn't have a chance to sign up for it. Had I been, I probably would have because of everything that I've learned in working with SASP. It's a great program, and honestly, if I had the opportunity, I would go back and join it. It's just the community that you build right before walking through the doors in September, or in August rather. It's a new way to experience the campus, and for me, when I started, I didn't have anyone, I didn't have friends, I didn't have some form of support. It was just me. So to have that first-hand experience and to just know people as soon as you get here is something not a lot of freshmen can say that they have.
Okay, so how did the first year seminar influence your academic career at John Jay? Oh wait, are we not doing that? Oh yes, we're on Ariana.
This is the
No,
one.
we're not on Ariana,
So
we're on
if you
Jason,
turn the
we're
page at the
further
top.
down. I'm not following the script.
Okay.
But
Oh,
that,
sorry.
that is the next question we have for you.
How did the first year seminar influence your academic career at John Jay?
Well, I was a forensic science major when I first started at John Jay, so the program doesn't really apply to forensic science majors. So I don't have experience with the first year seminars either. But again, learning what I've learned and being a peer mentor, I now give the experiences that I didn't get. And I try and be that support, that first step, that bridge between faculty and students that I didn't have so that they have an easier transition. So I don't consider it like just, oh, I missed out. Let me see, what I missed out. It's more of, I didn't have this opportunity. Let me make it easier for the high schoolers that are coming in. Let me make it a more, like a more fun experience for them who, you know, they're trying to just adjust and find themselves in an environment, and I pride myself in trying to make it easier and more enjoyable for them.
Great. So how did having, well, you didn't have a peer mentor then either?
No.
Okay, so, but you are a peer mentor, right?
Yes.
Okay, so talk about your experience as a peer mentor. How do you feel that you're able to influence the students?
Well, my,
Hold on just a second. I gotta ask them to not talk loudly.
I'm gonna like, we should have like bloopers or something, because I'm like dancing.
Oh, okay. Great. It's not a soundproof door. That's all right. Okay, so yeah, talk about how being a peer mentor influenced the students, and what was it like for you?
Well, this is my first year as a freshman peer mentor, so I've been slowly learning and grasping everything that I can provide for the students. I think what I add to them is a sense of community, a sense of, you know, familiarity. I can help them transition. I can introduce them to networks that I have. I can bring them to like places that can help them with whatever else they need. I can assist them in just transitioning from one point in their lives to another. And I think that's the most important part for me, just to help them some way, some shape or form, because college is not an easy task. Some people might think that it is, but it's, you know, it's a big change, and you go through a lot to figure out who you are. And I feel like, again, I didn't have that sort of support, but if I can help someone, even if it's just, you know, answering an email or helping them talk to a professor, or just showing them to the Center of Student Life, or whatever it's called now, the Office of Student Life, you know, it's just something that I feel like I can enhance their experience here. And that's what really it is. College is about finding who you are and learning what you like and what you don't like. And I feel like as a peer mentor, I can kind of help in that way of, you know, directing someone's life and how to get there and what they want to do with the rest of their life.
Great. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
My advice to a first-year student is find yourself. That's something that I'm struggling with, and I think in these 4 years, it's a perfect time to learn what you like I said, what you like, what you don't like, what brings you like passion, what makes you excited, and what, you know, you can kind of shy away from. I learned science and math are not my thing, and English is. So if you like computer science, go for computer science. If you want to be a police officer, do that. But the most important thing, I think, is to learn who you are and find what it is that makes you happy, because you have 4 years and then you're on your own. And, well, not on your own, but, you know, you have 4 years and then you have to start figuring it out. So in these 4 years, you know, harvest networks, find what you love, find who you are, because the faster you do that, the more you can enjoy your life and just be whoever it is that you want to be.
Great.
Awesome. Is that it?
All right, Trushal, I want you to say your full name,
Okay.
what you're studying, what year you are.
Okay. My name is Trushal Pandy, and I'm currently a junior studying Law and Society.
Great. So look at me when you answer questions and include your question in your answer.
Okay.
How did the first year seminar influence your academic career at John Jay?
How did the first year seminar influence me? I think it was a very big part of...
Okay, so that's a word, it. We don't know what it is.
Okay.
So you have to say I think the first year seminar.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think the first year seminar really influenced me as who I am today. I was a really shy boy from Long Island. I was really mild. I was the one who always sat in the back, didn't really talk. I would be the first one out of class, first one on the train back home. And that completely changed after my first year seminar. I learned that one of the most important things as a college student is fake it till you make it. If you don't know, or if you're scared to go up in front of people, you need to fake it so people think you're confident, and people can see if you're confident or not, and that's very important. So through the first year seminar, working with my peer mentor and the other students in class, I learned the important skills of being more open and getting myself out there.
How did having a peer mentor influence your first semester on campus?
having a peer mentor definitely helped me because it gave me a person that I could rely on whenever I had any questions. And like I said, I was a very timid person, and this gave me a chance to connect with someone and open up. And if I had any problems or any questions, I had someone to lean on.
Excellent. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
Just the biggest advice that I would give to a first-year student is just get yourself out there. The more people that know who you are, that know your name, the better it is for you. Start building your network your freshman year, because even though you have 4 years, time flies by, and by the time you're junior, you're going to need recommendation letters, you're going to be applying for jobs, and if you start your freshman year, you build that strong network, it can help you in the long run.
Any other words of advice?
Just be yourself and enjoy this process. It goes by really fast, and before you know, you're going to be on that platform with your degree. So try to be a part of everything you want to do. Just try new things even if you're not comfortable with it, because you may realize that this is something you might want to do. And don't be afraid to take chances. I came in as a criminal justice major, and I changed my majors 3 times, and I'm still going to graduate on time because I've realized what I love and what I want to do.
Anything else? Okay, you nailed it. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good, Esther. All right, Esther, so you're going to say your full name, what you're studying, what year you are.
Okay. So my name is Esther Aparicio, and I'm a political science major, minoring in philosophy, and I'm a junior now.
Great. Okay, Esther, so you're going to use the question in your answer. You can use it in your own words, okay? So we don't know what it refers to or what that refers to.
Okay.
When you say, oh, it was great. What was it? Okay? All right, so tell us about the opportunities you have pursued while you have worked as a peer mentor.
Well, while working as a peer mentor, I've actually had the opportunity to meet a lot of professionals in different fields. So I actually want to go to law school. So I, first sought out people who were professionals in the law, in the field of law. A lot of them were attorneys. Other people just worked with people who just knew generally about courts. But in the process, I also got to speak to a lot of people who were Latin studies professionals, English professionals, just every single field you can possibly think of.
Great. Tell us about the mission of John Jay College and what it means to you and your interest in social justice.
In terms of social justice, John Jay College has opened so many doors for me. In fact, the very mission of advocating for justice resonates with me because I'm someone who loves activism, who has a lot of social justice interests. Right now, I'm learning a lot about what's happening in a lot of Latin countries. I'm sorry, can I start again? Because I sort of got mixed up for that one. Okay. In terms of social justice, John Jay College has opened so many doors for me. I've learned so much about a lot of the issues that are going on in Latin America. And overall, I'm just really interested in activism, and John Jay College just fosters that, especially because its mission is about advocating for social justice.
Perfect. Who did you connect with during your first year on campus?
During my first year on campus, I actually connected with, I'm sorry, do I have to say like a specific name? Because I don't remember
You
just.
can just talk in general, it's fine.
Okay. I'm sorry, can I have like 2 seconds to just gather my thoughts? So in my first year of college, I actually was able to speak to one of my professors, my English professor to be exact, and my English professor was able to write a letter of recommendation for me my first year, and through him, I was actually able to apply to the honors program at John Jay College. So right there, I understood the meaning and the importance of networking, even in your first year.
Great. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
To a first-year student, I would tell them to get out of their comfort zone and to talk to different people, especially, professionals and your professors. It's really important to make connections with them, but I think it's also really important to make connections with your peers, because your peers sometimes will know about other opportunities. And just in general, this is probably one of the most diverse environments that you'll be throughout your entire life. It would be remiss to, miss out on an opportunity of speaking to someone who you've never spoken to before and learn things, eat things you've never eaten before.
Why is planning important when you are a new or continuing student at John Jay?
When you're in college, you're going to have a lot of different assignments. You're going to have, aside from assignments, you're going to have a lot of different events, and it's really difficult to keep up. You can't just go by memory, so it's nice to have something to look back at, especially an agenda. I myself use an agenda, a personal planner, and in that I put down things that are due, I put events that are coming up, and it's really helpful to keep up with college life.
Who those are like monthly, weekly, daily plans. But what about, you know, a vision, long-term planning in a big picture kind of way? Do you have that? Do you have big picture planning?
Is this like specified to journaling or just like in general? How do I plan that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, in terms of goal setting, right? I think that's something that it's a case by case. So sometimes it's easier to have short-term goals. It's easier to have long-term goals. I mean, I hope that every student has a long-term goal, right? Something, whether it's a career goal, whether it's something that they want to accomplish in their life. And for me, it's always been really, really easy to, you know, go little by little. So write down a lot of short-term goals. So whether it's an internship, you want to write that on your planner, right? If an internship application is due, you can put that down. Anything like small steps, it's really important. There's always a way to plan, whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal. It's always really important.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't know, I kind of mentioned this already in one of the questions before. Is it okay if I sort of reiterate that?
Sure.
I think college is probably one of the best places to learn about different cultures, learn about different people, learn about a lot of different global issues. And I think especially because we're such a diverse environment, it's such a great way, such a good opportunity to become sensitive to these things, and hopefully when we go into our fields, be able to work with other people who come from different cultures as well and know already and have that information, have that knowledge, and have that sensitivity to where, you know, they're coming from.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
All
right, everybody, your phones are off, silenced, not just silence, but off. Phones are off. Okay. All right. So we're going to start out with you saying your name, year, what you're studying, and look at me.
Okay. My name is Zamora Kennedy. I'm a graduate. I graduated recently, and I graduated with a forensic psychology major, and I also minored in English and philosophy.
So tell us about your work in first-year seminars. Do you have any favorite stories to share?
Actually, I do have a favorite story to share for my experience as a peer mentor. I had one student in particular, and it was kind of hard to connect with the student. So, I tried to pull out so many, tricks up my sleeve, and, sometimes the student wasn't really as receptive as I hoped that they could have been. And, sometimes I worried, like sometimes when I go home, I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this student going to end up? Are they going to be successful? And sometimes I doubted myself about this student. And then 2 semesters later, I just happened to bump into the student, and they're like, Zamora, guess what? I'm on the dean's list. I'm volunteering this place. I'm doing really great. And it was so good to hear, this great success story for this student that I had, because, it's just like, as a peer mentor, you just know, like, don't give up, just keep on moving forward, just keep pushing students, because when you feel like they're not going to be successful or you're not going to be successful, sometimes, you never know what the future holds. And everyone is capable of doing well in college and succeeding.
Great. Tell us about the mission of John Jay College and what it means to you, your interest. No, Zamora, I'm sorry. What advice? What advice do you give to students who aren't doing as well in college as they did in high school?
Well, I just let students know, because when you transition from high school to college, you hear a lot in high school, oh, professors don't care about you, and you're on your own. And that's not true. And I was very surprised myself when I came to college. It's really a community. And it's all about, speaking up and letting a person know, like, hey, I'm having trouble doing this or doing that. You're not on your own in college. I think that's a big, important factor to let students know. It's always about, like, speaking up and saying what's on your mind and just getting, like, if you're able to voice your opinion or voice how you feel about something, you never know. Like, there's people who are willing to help, even your professors. They're not scary people. They're there to help you. They became interested in the field of education because they want to carry on that mission of educating the youth, having us be fierce advocates.
Great. What do international students need to do to be happy and successful at John Jay?
Well, what I think that international students need to do to be happy and successful as John Jay, I would say just network a lot. Networking is really important, and the first steps, you can reach out to your professor. I worked a lot with a lot of international students, so I'm coming. I've born and raised in Brooklyn all my life, so I had students from Asia, Latin America, some European students. So sometimes it's hard at first to connect, but you have to be a little bit more warming and receptive, and take things one step at a time, and just opening the door, and like I said, just being open, not being afraid to say what's on your mind or to speak up or to connect.
Great. Why is planning important when you are a new or continuing student at John Jay?
Planning is very essential, being a college student and beyond. First, to start off with, being a college student, you need to organize yourself. I would preferably use a planner. That's what I personally like to use. Or if you're tech savvy, you can use Google Docs. You can use your phone that has a planner, or they have a lot of great apps on iTunes or like the Android App Store. And planning is really important because you need to know when your test dates are. You need to know when homework is assigned. And if you miss deadlines and stuff like that, then it can hinder, it can really harm your grade. And also thinking above and beyond, organizing yourself, it's really important because you want to make time not just for your career, but also for your family and also for yourself.
Great. Who have you connected with on campus?
Oh, I've connected with a lot of people on campus, but just the person who really helped me to connect more with John Jay, I would say, is my peer mentor. She graduated a long time ago. Her name was Mary Beth Aprigeno. She was so sweet and she was so kind. We still keep in contact even to this day. But it was just like we emailed each other back and forth all the time. And sometimes she shared her insecurities with me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm her mentee. What can I bring to the table? But she really encouraged me. And she gave me a lot of confidence.
Great. Any final thoughts or words?
My final thoughts and words for students, going into college. College is really a stepping stone for success. I know you hear a lot of stories of people, oh, they didn't go to college, but they're still successful. But you need an education. An education, it's really, really, really important, especially things that are happening politically, socially, and within our society. I think education opens up many doors to justice, to diversity. So education, it's really like a good foundation to have.
Great. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
No problem. You look great. Tell us your name, what year you are, and what you're studying.
My name is Monica. I'm a graduating senior. I will be graduating with a degree of forensic psychology, and I'm minoring in theater arts.
And also tell me where you're from.
I'm from Poland.
So tell us about your work in first year seminar. Do you have any favorite stories to share?
Well, coming to first year seminar and to sasp was like a great milestone for me because my parents are still in Europe. So I was looking, since I came to John Jay, I was looking for some kind of like community and kind of sort of family. And joining the peer mentoring program was not only to help other people, was also like to find my little place at the campus as well. So since I joined, I expressed to my supervisor that I would like to work with international students because that was my goal. I felt like when I came here, I was a little bit lost, like I didn't know where to go, and I had all those language barriers. So I wanted to help those students because I knew the feeling, like being disoriented, like coming to a new strange place. I knew how much help they needed.
Great. And do you have any favorite stories? Like one story, one experience in particular?
Well, I think just being a part of those EAP classes, English for International Students, and seeing them growing. Like actually we have one of my students that I mentor his freshman year. He's part of our team, peer mentoring team right now. And it's just seeing them growing and sharing their their achievements with me, like Monica, I got to this program, I joined this club. It's just seeing they're growing and getting like accustomed to school. It's a great pleasure for me.
Great. What advice do you give to students who aren't doing as well in college as they did in high school?
Well, I think that it's not about comparison. Obviously, it's a new environment, it's a new community. I will tell them to try their best, obviously, and I would talk to them what's the issue. Like, there might be a lot of issues. There might be like family. Like for me, like I really miss my family at first. So there are like some obstacles that are coming into the way. It might be like time management skills. They might be working too many hours. I would rather sit with a student to get the root of the problems, and then I try to figure it out with them and move along from there.
Great. What do international students need to do to be happy and successful at John Jay?
Well, I think at this point we have a great team of peer mentors and a lot of professors who are supporting international students. I have to be honest, they all have to work hard. They have to spend so many hours with reading the material, getting accustomed to new vocabulary and everything. I would say reaching out to the professors, not be ashamed of it that English is not their first language, asking maybe for some extra time if it's necessary. I personally, I was always open. I never felt like discouraged to go to my professor or talk with them that I need an extra help. So just be open and don't look bad at themselves that they need an extra time or extra attention. It's fine as long as they work hard and they're trying to reach their goal. It's fine.
Great. Why is planning important when you are a new or continuing student at John Jay?
I think that planning and scheduling is like the most important thing in college. Like, if we plan everything right, the students are not gonna end up procrastinating, and they're gonna turn all of the assignments on time. So I'm a really huge planner fan. So like, I would write everything down, and I'm trying to express it to my students, because sometimes, like, personally, like, if I don't write something down, I might forget. So I think when it's on the paper or when it's on the board or just somewhere on the phone, like, you can really miss it. So I'm trying to express to all my students that it's really important to get a planner and to follow the dates and make sure that they turn every assignment on time.
Great. Who have you connected with on John Jay's campus?
Well, my first semester, I met a great professor. He was part of First Year Experience program. He was the one who encouraged me to pursue a theater arts minor. And I took multiple classes with him, Professor Lyle Davies. He's part of the drama department, and he's teaching some classes in English as well. He was really helpful. He was actually the first person he was the first person that I approached. I'm an international student that I need some extra help, but he was really encouraging. He always supported me because he's originally from Ireland, so he could actually understand what I was going through. So it was like a great experience because it was my first semester. I really needed that role model who helped me to get through the college, and I'm still in touch with him, and I think I will be even if I graduate. So that's like a lifelong experience, and it was really great. It was really helpful.
Great. Anything else you want to add?
I wanted to welcome all incoming students, and I want to share that no matter where you're coming from, no matter how hard it's going to get, college is a great experience, and just try to take out of it as much as you can and enjoy it.
Anything you want to say in Polish?
Pozdrawiam wszystkich studentów.
Good luck, students.
Powodzenia.
Okay, great.
Nervous. I think it's just the lights.
Oh, well, look at me. I'm kind of ordinary. So you're going to tell us your name. Look at me when you speak and try to include the question in your answer in your own words.
Okay.
Okay? So tell us your name, what year you are, and what you're studying.
Okay. My name's Gabrielle. I am studying criminology, and I'm also pursuing a bachelor's, master's for the BA/MA program. So I'm doing that in criminal justice. and I am a junior.
Great. So tell us about working at Open House and welcoming students to John Jay.
Welcome. I think Open House was a time where I really shined because I like to advocate for student academic success programs. I think it's an awesome program. I think we offer a lot to students with being in class and everything. So Open House really helped me to break out of my shell, to talk to other prospective students, and yeah, I think it was a really good opportunity for me.
Great. And why is planning important when you're a new or continuing student at John Jay?
I'm a strong advocate for planning. I think that planning is really important because, when you get your syllabus, you get 5 if you're taking 5 classes. So you get really overwhelmed with, all your classes and everything. And I think that planning is really important to set aside time for studying, time for leisure, time for when you're gonna, do your homework and stuff. What I like to do is I like to take out my planner at the beginning of class because I know that more often than not, a professor's gonna say some dates that are coming up maybe, or highlight something that you should be doing. So I feel like if you take your planner out in the beginning of class, then it helps you to okay, let me write this down.
Great. Who did you connect with during your first year on campus?
My first year on campus, I really didn't connect with anyone. And the reason for that was because I wasn't involved in anything. I would go to school and I would go home. And in my sophomore year, I got into the honors program. So I connected with AJ, who's also another peer mentor here in the sasp peer mentor program. And we actually decided to do peer mentoring together. So through me and AJ doing peer mentoring, I connected with everyone in sasp, and I really formed like a bond with everyone in the program. So sasp opened a lot of doors for me as well.
Great. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
Some advice I'd give to a first-year student would be to plan. That would be number one. Always be on top of your classes, what classes you have to take for each semester, because even though you go to academic advisement, it's good for you to know what you have to take before you go into academic advisement, so that you have a look at what they're gonna tell you, and you could see oh, maybe I don't really want to take this class. I'm gonna do this one because this is what's gonna keep me on track and stuff like that.
Great. Anything else you want to add?
I would like to say that I hope that the freshmen coming in aren't nervous. John Jay's a really big school, but the community is very tight knit. So there's somewhere for you to go if you come here. There's always a place where you can find your little niche, and you won't feel as alone when you come.
Lovely. Thank you. That was great. From the very beginning,
Okay.
I want you to say your name, what year you are, and what you're studying.
My name is Ellie D. I'm an upper junior and I'm studying English.
And tell us about your work with ePortfolio.
Yes, ePortfolio. This is an online portfolio where the students get the opportunity to portray everything that they've done throughout their college career within the portfolio. So this includes their internships, volunteer experiences, activities, volunteer work, anything.
Great. We hear that you juggle a lot. Tell us about how you manage all your responsibilities.
Planning. I have about 3 planners. I separate them between one for my schoolwork, one for my work, so my job at SASP, and I also have my personal planner, which is everything I do outside of that.
Great. Hold on a second here. I hope that your here didn't rub against the mic. Okay. What does a great peer mentor do?
I think a great peer mentor is considerate of their students. They are aware of what the students need, and then they're able to help them. If you're not considerate of where the student's coming from or how they need the help, then I think it'll be impossible to help them as a peer mentor.
What advice would you give to a student who is not sure what their career or even college plans are?
I say just go with the flow of things. So if you're in school, take classes that you enjoy, classes that you're interested in, and from there you'll be able to then create an idea of what exactly you want to do. So whether it be a foundation class, so political science 101, to then lead you to
possibly studying political science and then becoming a lawyer after that. But I say just go with the flow of things and take classes that might interest you.
Is there anything else you want to say
To our students,
to anyone?
yes, live life because it's a good thing.
What about how you're feeling about being in SASP?
I love SASP. I love the atmosphere with my colleagues. I love working with them. I love my supervisor, and I also love the opportunity to help students come in. And even my personal experience, I didn't know where to go, how to go about it in terms of schoolwork or even, let's say, financial aid. And getting the opportunity to help a student who's in my same position or who was in my same position, it's a good feeling.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so I want you to start, as soon as I get this adjusted, I want you to start and look at me by saying your name, what year you are, and what you're studying.
Okay, great. Yeah? Great. So my name is Ariana Castillo. I am a junior, and I am studying forensic psychology with a minor in gender studies.
Great. So Ariana, tell us, who did you connect with during your first year on campus?
So my first connection when I came to campus was really my FYE, what it was called at the time, first year experience, was my FYE professor, Dr. Jama Adams. He really guided me in that experience. He offered to be my mentor, offered me experiences where I could volunteer. That experience landed me on the John Jay website, recognizing me and a fellow coworker who's also a peer mentor for our volunteer service in an elementary school in Harlem. And so I really looked to him, and I still do to this day, for the guidance that I need in my educational career and also my career goals.
What kinds of academic connections have you made on campus?
So my first semester, I joined a club, started trying to make a club with PRI called the Prisoner Reentry Education and Peer Support Club. And it was really just me and one of the workers in PRI trying to make this club together. Although the club never started, this ended me a connection that landed me in the Prison to College Pipeline program, where I met another mentor. This opportunity also led me to apply for the peer mentorship position, where I also got to meet insanely amazing mentors that have guided me throughout the way.
Great. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
The advice that I would give a first-year student is to be open to the possibility. In high school you could have had a story, but this is the moment to rewrite it. Don't let that past define who you are at this moment. This is a new chapter, a new book. So I would say embrace what your experience is, but also don't let it deter you from persevering and heading on to the future.
Tell us about your experiences working with faculty.
My experience working with faculty has been extraordinary. I think that I've been extremely blessed in the faculty that I've been able to work with, and that they've become mentors to me. And the fact that they're also women that I can look up to and that I could emulate and say, wow, she looks like me, and she made it, I can make it as well. And so that connection, and I've also gotten recommendation letters from those connections. I recently won a $1,500 scholarship to a program because of a scholarship, of a recommendation that I asked at the last minute, and she was still willing to help me out just because we had established such a close bond through peer mentoring.
Great. Do you speak any other languages?
Yeah, so I speak Spanish, and I took Portuguese here because I wanted to move to Brazil after I graduated. So I figured this would be a good place to start taking Portuguese, and it's been extremely helpful. Not only that John Jay offers you free Rosetta Stone, and so that has been extremely helpful in facilitating my experience in learning a new language.
Can you say something in either Spanish or Portuguese to the potential international student about coming here?
I would say, bienvenidos estudiantes, están en casa, siéntase como que está en su casa, y siempre estamos aquí para ayudarles.
Great. Anything else you want to add?
I just want to add that this program is really like no other. I have sisters who are also in other CUNY schools, who we have CUNY wars all the time at home, and I really wish that their schools would offer a program like this for my sister who transferred. She doesn't have a transfer peer mentor who has been able to guide her through the way. Just like my sister who started off as a freshman this semester didn't have one, and I think that maybe a lot of schools don't understand the importance of this program in retaining retention rates and just helping facilitate that experience for a first-year student like it did for me and so many others. So that's what I'd like to pass on.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much.